And welcome back to more Shantae, Risky's Revenge. So last time we gave the deed to Scuttletown to Ammo Baron, and we're told to visit the Battle Tower. So let's see what this place entails. Name's Barracuda Joe, and this here's the Battle Tower. You got a passport? Battle Tower rules are simple. Entry fees 20 gems, clock starts once you pass through that door. Beat the clock and you win. Also, a lot of folks died trying, so I hope you saved first. You sure you're ready? Okay, you're ready to go. Knock 'em dead. So the Battle Tower is a series of fights against enemies we've actually already encountered for the most part, so it's not too scary, and it's even less scary if you have a lot of magic. After every fight you have one of these little side rooms that have extra time, and also hearts, and magic refills. So hopefully we should not run out of health or magic throughout here. It's not that difficult. On the first playthrough, also if you try to do this without magic, I can see it being very easy to run out of time. But specifically with Pike Ball, it's not that bad. Normally I can finish this with over 2 minutes left on the clock. So we shouldn't have too much trouble here. And we just kind of need to climb up here, head to the next room, and rinse and repeat. Also, it's a good idea to get as many gems as possible because, as a warning, you actually have to do this twice. We have a second run of this in the cards, so definitely make sure to have at least 20 gems by the end of this. We have 20 anyway, so we're fine, but like if you only had 20, you would actually have to stop and collect a few gems along the way. 4 and 8 are kind of like rest rooms almost. They're just little platforming challenges. I say rest rooms as I managed to mess it up actually. But you still get health refills and magic refills after these little platforming rooms, so this is actually a really good spot to get extra time because typically the platforming rooms take a lot less time than the combat rooms. So, again, use magic a lot, especially if you're on magic mode. Do not worry about running out, and then just try to get through every fight as quickly as possible with as much health as possible. And that's about all there is to it. So one problem I do have is sometimes I lose a few seconds because I'm not aware that the door opened. Sometimes when I end a fight in the middle of the room, I'm not aware that all the enemies are defeated, so I look around a bit. Also, this room's a little bit difficult actually, because of the slime's range. So I'm gonna take this a little bit slow here, like so. Lucky magic drop there. Also a lot of gem drops, which is great. Ow. Also, I would recommend toggling the spell off whenever all enemies are defeated, or enemies are spawning in, because you might as well try to conserve as much magic as possible. I like how we entered with less than full magic, and now we're up to full magic, because we've gotten so many magic drops. That's really lucky, actually. Normally I end with about the same amount of magic I start with, so this is actually really lucky. Health-wise, we're not doing great, but we're not doing badly either. I could go for a few more heart drops, but if not, there's always health after each fight, so it's not that big of a deal. And even stopping to pick up the hearts after every room doesn't really waste enough time to justify not picking them up, basically. You know, we're still over 3 minutes, so we definitely can spare a few seconds to stop and grab some extra health if it means getting through here a little bit easier. Still at full magic, which is great. Still over 3 minutes going into room 9. There should be, I think, 2 more rooms left after this. Overall, it's not too bad. I remember struggling though on my first playthrough though, because I don't know how much equipment I had. Also, this room kind of sucks. because you actually have to time dodging off-screen arrows, so just kind of duck periodically and avoid getting hit by arrows. I'm pretty sure I missed out on a gem over here, but it's not that big of a deal. We have plenty of opportunities in the future to get money, so we should have 2 more rooms, counting 10. We have a red knight here. The best strategy again is to attack high, to avoid hitting the shield, and then the pike balls will do a lot of damage when shield is down. That was a blue variant that I'm pretty sure is a little bit tougher, but still not particularly threatening, clearly. And with that, we should be entering our final room. It's a skull and 7 numbers, so that's a good sign. And there's a lot of enemies here, so we have 3 minutes going into this room, so we definitely have enough time to get through here. No worries on that front. I do need to be a little bit careful about health, because I can still very easily die if I'm not careful. So we have a good strategy here to quickly get rid of all the enemies, so hopefully nothing will go wrong. This is a little bit difficult because even crouching, you'll dodge the top arrows, but the enemies on the lower ledges can still hit you, so you actually have to be a little bit careful about that. Also, because I took a lot of damage there from one attack, I'm trying to be a little bit careful around those little sand enemies. I'm gonna attack this one first, because it's farther away from the exit door. Gonna stop and pick up the gems, because why not? And then take out our last enemy. There we go. And our reward for this is our second magic seal. Looks like we've got a winner. Let's see what you found up there. What's that? A magic squeal? I thought that Ammo Baron only kept valuable treasures up there. Just junky junk. Shoot, that's embarrassing. Tell you what, we've got other stuff up there too, like actual cash prizes. Something worth something. So come back anytime for a rematch and I'll set you up with some real prizes you can use. We'll track your best scores and all that, really make it worth your while. Just so there's no hard feelings, take this here. You got the forest key. No idea what that thing's for. Looks old, like something a wood sprite would use to wind their watch or some dumb thing. Take it, it's yours. Thanks, Barracuda Joe. You're a lifesaver. Kiss. Don't say kiss to me unless you're actually giving me a kiss. Otherwise, it's just words, okay? Okay, kiss. Okay, you're doing it again. Get going, and be sure to hit a save room, first stop on the left. Before we go back to save, we actually want to try this once more. Current record, 2:10:75, left on the timer. Battle Tower rules are simple, same as before. We are fine to do this without saving. Okay, you're ready to go, knock him dead. So as we make our way through the Battle Tower once more, I wanted to take some time to talk about the development history of this game, because it's surprisingly elaborate, actually. So after the release of the Game Boy Color game, in the, I want to say around 2000 or 2001, it was a really late Game Boy Color title, they started working on a sequel for the Game Boy Advance. Apparently called Shantae 2 Risky Revolution. Apparently even demo footage and screenshots exist of this game, so quite a bit is actually known about the early demos of this. But obviously that did not come to be, and after the Game Boy Advance, they tried working on a couple of different Shantae titles. Apparently there was reports of a WiiWare Shantae game, that also never released, as far as I'm aware, and also a DS game. So none of these games released, And the actual Shantae 2 would be Risky's Revenge, but it doesn't stop there. This game was originally designed to be episodic, but by the time they finally released it, they changed it to be a full release at launch, which I prefer because I'm not really the biggest fan of episodic games, if I'm being honest. So, even then, there is a bit of debate about how complete Risky's Revenge is as a game. And the Battle Tower is actually a really good example of why there's so much speculation about this. A lot of people feel like Risky's Revenge is weirdly short, and this stretch of the game right here is a big part of why. Because there's no dungeon here. To get the second magic seal, you just do the Battle Tower, and that's it. There's no labyrinth, there's not even much to get to the dungeon at all, if you can call this a dungeon. So the general short length of this stretch of the game to get the second magic seal, I feel like, is a big part of why people kind of wonder if things were cut out for development time. Like, because this doesn't feel like as fully realized as other Shantae games, even the Game Boy Color game had more dungeons, if I'm remembering right. So, this is Risky's Revenge Director's Cut, obviously, and I feel like it would have been kind of interesting if there was actually a ton of cut content, to have added it back in for the Steam and console releases. I'm not entirely sure if they would have kept, like, the Battle Tower, assuming this is something that was designed as kind of a replacement for something a little bit more elaborate. I mean, the Battle Tower is still fun, but it does lack, exploration, obviously, and the desert itself, yeah, just kind of feels short. Like, you get the town deed, give it to Ammo Baron, you deliver it to... Yeah, you deliver to Ammo Baron, get the passport, go here, get the second magic seal. There's a lot less to do. A lot fewer steps than, like, you know, having to find Wobble Bell and deliver Wobble Bell to its owner, and getting the tasty meal to give to Squid Baron, and so on and so forth. Also, we don't get a transformation here. There is a second transformation soon, but it's not tied to this area, if I'm remembering right. We get it a little bit later. So yeah, it kind of just feels like something got left out. Whether something actually got left out, I'm not actually sure. But I can definitely understand why there's a lot of speculation about that. It kind of reminds me of Wind Waker, Legend of Zelda, where, Great Fish Isle was apparently supposed to have a lot more to it, but it ended up getting cut out because of, like, development time, I assume. And then when they finally remastered the game for Wii U, they commented that the reason they did not add back in the cut dungeon was because they ended up using concepts from that cut dungeon for one of the later games, presumably Skyward Sword or Twilight Princess. So I still would have liked to see possibly more content added to this game. I'm not sure how much you could add without, like, disrupting too much of the flow of the original package, but definitely for a director's cut, it feels a little bit flimsy on new additions. As someone who's never played the DSiWare release, obviously I don't mind, but I can definitely understand why people wanted more content added back into this version than just, you know, a fixed warp system and magic mode. Something I also forgot was, I'm pretty sure Magic Mode is actually unlockable. So, like, you actually have to beat the game, like, once normally on original mode to unlock Magic Mode in this game. So, I think in the iOS version you can actually swap to Magic Mode even on a first playthrough. So that's a pretty interesting difference there. Another interesting thing, speaking of the Director's Cut, is I've been trying to find out if the Wii U version had any touchscreen features, because this was originally a DSi game, therefore I'm pretty sure things like maps and inventory screens are set to the touch screen. At least that's how it is in Pirate's Curse, even on Wii U. But for Risky's Revenge, I actually can't find anything about the Wii U version having any gamepad features, which is kind of interesting. With that, we have reached the final room once more, which has a magic jam. And to exit, we have to collect the magic seal again. Looks like we've got a winner. Enjoy your prizes and come back soon. Risky Boots. I had a feeling you'd show up. I'm afraid my patience for you is starting to wear thin. Why don't you hand over both magic seals now and save you and your dear uncle from any further unpleasantness? Never. Fine, we'll do this the hard way. You'll both beg for mercy in the end. You'll see. So with that, our only clue as to where to go next is the forest key we got earlier. So, this path here to the right of the battle tower is basically a shortcut back to Pumpkin Fields, so obviously we want to take this path instead of making our way all the way around. There is a warp, but I'm gonna activate the warp a little bit later because there's not really a point to go left of the battle tower until a little bit later. So this should put us close to the exit. There we go. More of these imps. I forgot to activate Pike Ball, which again makes our lives so much easier getting through this specific cave. Yeah, we're almost to Pumpkin Fields. I think at this point we need to head back to town, actually. So gonna dodge all the enemies. We have 351 gems, so I'm good to go in terms of money for now. And at this point, the warp isn't gonna help us because by the time we get to the warp in Pumpkin Fields, it's gonna be just as close to town as it would be otherwise, I'm pretty sure. So we're gonna dodge everything like so, and make our way back to town, also for some shopping on the way back to the forest. Presumably that's where the forest key is used, in the forest. So I'm pretty sure some more enemies, like a lot more enemies appear now. Like I don't remember the little imps actually appearing here before. Also, I took a lot of damage here. That's what happens when you try to kind of rush through certain areas in this game. It can be a little bit rough. I can't imagine trying to actually speedrun this game because of just how, at least on magic mode, because of how much damage everything does when trying to move through the world as fast as possible. 355 gems. So we are going to go back to the shop and buy a bunch of stuff. Now that we have some more magic jam as well. I think we're gonna buy this, that's only 50, and also upgrade to faster whipping speed, and then we're gonna go save, actually. So at this point, the save should be over here. Unfortunately, unlike in the first game, and I'm pretty sure every subsequent game, there's actually no heal spot. Normally there's like a hot spring where you can actually recover health, but as far as I'm aware, this game doesn't have anything like that. So we're just kind of stuck at 2 health for now, sadly. With all of that being said, though, we're gonna call things here for now. So next time, we're gonna find out where the forest key gets us, and see what lies beyond there. So thank you for watching, and I hope you'll join me next time for more Shantae, Risky's Revenge.